What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Legion of Nerds. I'm Chuck.
I'm Brandy.
And I'm Johnny.
Today, we're going to come at y'all with a discussion for the ACOLYTE, Episode 7 and Episode 8. The show finally ends today or tonight. It's been a long path to where we are right now.
What I'd say, a train wreck.
Yeah. Well, it ended kind of in a train wreck. But let's start with 7. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about 7 when they go back to Brendock, because this would be one of the easiest ones because we already knew what happened on Brendock. So we can just talk about the little bit that we saw that was different.
Mm-hmm. Soul killed Mama.
Yeah.
Because she turned into that smoke monster.
Right.
Like, I don't know what I would have done. I'd never seen that before.
Just like people on Lost, I'd have been trying to kill that smoke monster myself. What is the smoke monster? What is this? Like, I'd probably stab him too. Because he didn't know. And hell, I still don't know what she was doing. Like, they didn't completely explain it, although in my eyes she was trying to like teleport like everybody else was doing, and she was trying to take May with her. I don't think she was like trying to ingest May into herself.
I don't think she was trying to cannibalize her daughter either.
Right.
That
I know, it's debatable.
The open interpretation is just awful.
Yes, I know. Like, because I'm down for the other. Like, I'm open for that other explanation of.
I thought it was more along those lines of like she was trying to consume her,
right,
and let Osha go. Because I mean, that she said that she was going to let Osha go.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I was going to let Osha go. It's what she wants. It's what she wants. She chose you.
Man. And then Soul, like, he was just pushing. See, this was the episode that just changed me completely on Soul as well.
Episode 7?
Yeah. Like, I still like the actor and his portrayal of the character and everything, but it was more of so much for Soul in this episode because he was just too attached to Osha for some reason.
For no reason other than he was told he wasn't ready to have a Padawan.
Pretty much.
All I can think.
Yeah, pretty much. He was like told, you can't do this. Oh, I can't. All right, watch me. Like, and then,
well, in this case, he would be the first Jedi we know of to do that.
Oh, do what? Just take on a Padawan?
Say screw it, I'm gonna do what I want.
Oh, it ain't the first, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought she was saying it was. I was like, what are you even talking about? There was an entire.
It may be the first in
trilogy
timeline.
That's what I'm getting.
The first in the timeline that we know about.
There was an entire trilogy dedicated to the fact that he wanted to go. No, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Yes.
And that whole trilogy was capped off by Qui-Gon Jinn taking on Anakin Skywalker, even though the damn council was like, no. But I'm okay. Well, I'm gonna take him anyway. Like, and you see what happened? Like, yeah, the Jedi always doing what they want to do, and this show is just pushing that too. I know, we'll talk about that. But in this 7th episode on Brendock, it really didn't show us much more. It really didn't. And May really did start the fire.
She did.
Like, just fucking.
And it just so happened that it like hit some electrical and just started destroying the building.
Yeah, the whole mine's connected to this one electrical system, and there's no like fuses or like jump boxes relays, in between, nothing.
The
whole thing just blows up.
Keeps going. I don't know, man.
Right.
We know that Soul had to choose, but now I'm like, he chose Osha because May saw him kill Mama.
I don't understand why he had to choose.
He wasn't strong enough, apparently.
To do what? He was strong.
Both of them.
He was strong enough to hold both pieces of that walkway up at the same time for however long he did. He could have grabbed them girls and pulled them to him.
Yes, but no.
Instead of grabbing the walkways, why didn't he just be like, Yeah, I know.
Because this show don't make no sense.
I mean, and I know in the moment you make decisions, so you can like boil it down to that's just the decision he made. It wasn't the right one. You know, in hindsight kind of thing. But
we finally get to see the Wookiee do the damn thing.
yeah, we did. We did get to see some Wookiee fighting. And it was cool as shit. Like every time he swung that damn lightsaber and it hit somebody else, that person was like flying. And he used the force. You see how strong, like when he used the force, like you understand how powerful that Wookiee was.
Made a mistake bringing him.
Oh my God, yeah, Torben thought he was something. Like, no, my mind's fortified. I ain't talking about you, dumbass. I'm talking about this big ass Wookiee. Oh, it's time. Like, yeah, I see why we didn't get the Wookiee at the beginning though. Because they were saving it for this fight. I mean, that don't make me feel no better about not getting the Wookiee earlier. But I see why they did it in the way of storytelling. You know what I mean? They were trying to make it the big. I don't understand why they had to split up episode 3 and 7. Like they could have just made that one big episode.
Yeah, like a 45-minute episode.
Right. But. And then still gave me the Wookiee fight, and I'd been cool with it. Like, then. You know what I mean? Like. But I understand why that was when they wanted to show the Wookiee. Was when all this went down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I mean. Not this late in the story, but that point. They didn't show the Wookiee fight Khmer because they wanted to see the Wookiee go down against his own people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dark.
I don't know. I still just feel like it was.
Oh, I'm not saying it was like. Yeah, I wasn't saying it was great. I just why they did it that way.
Again, the fights are great.
I get the.
Then they started talking.
I get that they wanted to put it here, where like in this sense of like, this is where the Wookiee fought, but seeing how he was, how strong he was, and then he's just dead in his chair.
That's because he gave himself up. He was full of guilt and everything. That's how I feel anyway. That's what I think.
Tell the story yourself. That's not how it's supposed to go. You're supposed to tell me the story. You're not supposed to go, oh yeah, that part you can just fill it in.
Endings, I'm cool with that. If you leave endings open, ambiguous, I'm kind of cool with that. But no, throughout, we need to be told this story. Like
instead of playing what's that freaking word game where like it's like, all right, now pick an object, write this object down, and then create a story out of it like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's like that, and it just.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all. I had really high hopes for this show.
I did too. I have high hopes for every Star Wars show, of course, and then half the time I get cut down. Like, not that they're bad, but they're not near as good as I wanted them to be.
Give us something like Andor, man. That was great.
Like, give me more Ahsoka with better writing. Like, Ahsoka's story overall, I thought was fantastic.
And visually, it was great.
Yeah, but some of the writing, like, I don't know what's going on with Star Wars.
That's part of the reason why I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan.
It's like they hire these great writers, and then they throw them in a room, right? And they're like, write like George Lucas. And that's what we get. Because George Lucas is not a great writer.
He's not. He's a good storyteller.
No, George Lucas is a great storyteller and a great, visualist, and can sit here and tell you a story, but sitting down to write, the story, nope. No doubt. And it's like they put them in Lucasfilm, and they put them through a class that's like, forget all you learned about writing. This is how George writes, and write it like this. And that's what we get every single time.
So are we done with episode 7?
Oh my God. I want to say one more thing about episode 7. I do not believe from the jump they had it split. Episode 3 and episode 7 were directed by the same person.
They were.
I think that after they had filmed it all, they decided to cut some out and maybe reshoot a couple things, but it was already filmed before they decided to split it into 2 episodes.
I mean, it would make sense. That way they don't have to recreate the set over and over again, but
to make the series longer too, so we get like more episodes.
Thanks.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm not saying it was good again.
At least.
Yeah.
No, we could have had one night where they had put it together, but they had wasted one of the nights.
Right, but they could have put
4 and 5 together as well.
Yeah, they could have put the Wookiee planet where they went after the Wookiee.
With the walking and then the fighting.
That's right.
Yeah.
They could have put them together, and we would have had 6 episodes instead of this 8 crap. And we'd already be done with it, and it probably would have been better.
We probably wouldn't be upset about it.
Not near as much. I'm not saying that we'd have been like woohoo for it, but it'd be better than it was because there'd be less crap.
Stop drawing. Like, it's the filler.
That's what I'm talking about. It'd be less of that.
Trying to take a B-list movie and turn it into an 8-episode series.
Yeah, it was. I don't understand either, because we're about to talk about the 8th episode, and it's so much better.
It is.
Than the 7th episode.
It's also directed by Leslie Headland.
I know. Like, as soon as I seen that this was directed by Leslie Headland, I was like, oh my God. Like, they finally did something. Because she was the director. Like, she finally did something with her own show, which she should have been, I guess she should have been directing the whole damn show.
Mm-hmm. After we saw this episode, yes.
Yeah, like, I'm not saying it's the best show of the series, the best episode of the series, or the best show because of this episode, but this episode, this next one, episode 8, I guess we're on to episode 8, is very, very well directed. Like, in general, directed. Like, even the dialogue seems better directed. And the fights were kind of different. Like, but I still liked them. It's like her way of filming the fights were different from whoever was filming them before. Like, it wasn't the same angles. It was different angles. Like, the fighting was the same.
Yeah.
Like, they had the same choreographer and all that, but the way she filmed it was different from the rest of the series. Like,
having little pan outs where, like, while they're fighting in that little corridor.
Right.
And having it slice through the side of the corridor and everything.
Yes. Like, it really was well. This episode was well directed.
When Soul was standing on the ledge with the 2 pieces of the bridge, or the 1 piece of the bridge on the side that fell.
Yes.
And we were looking at him. I very much felt like I was in Jedi Survivor.
Yeah.
Like, you could force run on that wall.
Yeah. And I don't know if y'all heard when I said it was so well directed that if the rest of the show had been nice, I mean, it'd been good, that moment when he approaches that would have meant something.
It would have.
Like, it would have hit us harder, and it would have meant something else to us, and it just didn't mean much. It didn't, like, it's just, this is where it happened. You know, let's move on.
So this episode had the the self-interpretation just like the rest of it, but it did have that kind of like, it added more questions, but it also felt like a puzzle piece that locked in. Like, this is where the show should have been throughout the entire season.
Right.
But we only got it here at the very end.
And it is.
And
because it was about what you have been asking for this whole time. It was about him finding
the middle ground.
It was him finding his acolyte and him doing what he wants to do. And I'm gonna be pissy for a minute and say fuck y'all, because we get a 5-second glance of Plagueis and then the back of the head of Yoda, and that's supposed to be enough. That's like, ooh, eat this up, y'all stupid, here's your damn cameos. Fuck y'all should have gave us something more than that. I am not even happy. Like, even before the show, we were talking about cameos or what our final predictions was, and I knew we was going to get something, I mean, oh man.
And see, before we started and everything, we were having that conversation. I even said, like, if they bring in these cameos, it's gonna be for the sole purpose of trying to hook us and trying to bring us into a second season. And they did really good with this last episode, and they tried to make it as good as it can be, so it would draw us and have all these different open endings to where they can continue it. And that's what they want to do, is draw us into a second season.
Yeah, I don't.
Which is
no.
Unless if they actually do something instead of giving us some crappy storytelling and just really terrible directing throughout the vast majority of the show, then
well, they better cut the budget down. I'm telling you now, because I didn't see where the 160, 180 million
I did not
went.
see where it went.
I'm telling you right now, I watched Godzilla -1, and it was 60.
16?
It was 60, right?
It may have been.
Or 40.
well,
I mean, it don't matter.
Figure it out later.
Like it was
It was a lot less
It was
than
double
what they
digits.
spent on this.
It was
series.
double digits, and man, Godzilla looked great.
Them
And
thunder thighs.
yeah, and the music. We can talk about Godzilla later. But
70% of the budget went to that the space chase.
that was cool. I really liked that.
I was about to say,
I still
enjoyed
don't
it.
understand why Basil wrecked them.
Yeah, I don't like the tracker. The tracker just like went in and tore out like the stuff in Soul's ship and
Because
just
Soul
tore
was
it off.
about to kill May.
I don't think what. Had no.
May,
He
he
was
was about to
targeting
blow
May.
her out of space.
He was attempting to
I
target
didn't see
May.
that part.
You didn't
Where
see the pop-up come up
See,
with
he's not
the
a
little-
big, huge Star Wars fan, so there's a targeting thing.
Yeah.
And it kept showing her ship flying through it, and he kept trying to get her in the middle, and as soon as she gets in the middle, he can fire and blow her out of space. And Basil stopped that from happening. Now, why?
We don't know.
I don't know, and the only thing I can think is to make Soul not kill somebody, keep him from killing somebody.
Your goddamn self-interpretation.
That's all we got.
He's
So
working for Plagueis.
he's working for Plagueis.
Oh my god.
Next question, just real quick, and I asked y'all this already, I think, but I don't know if we really answered it. Do y'all think that Plagueis was training Khmer, or he was just like called to the place because OSHA put on the helmet and like he felt her in the Force?
I think that Vernestra may not be as light as we think she is.
But then why would it pull back to the light at the very end whenever she meets with Yoda?
And she's still playing her part, but are you trying to say that she's working with Plagueis?
Yes.
Gotcha.
I don't think that's it. I think she is good, but I don't think Khmer is working with Plagueis either.
I'm straight up mad that we didn't get more of the whip.
It sliced a bug in half. That's
We'll
what
find
we
it in
got.
season 2.
The hell we will. I'm not going to be here for season 2. Y'all can have
Nope.
these discussions without me.
I'll be out.
Okay. And don't get me wrong, if our audience decides that they want to see us talk about season 2 when it comes out, because right now it ended with there's going to be a season 2.
That or they're trying to push our buttons into wanting us to have a season 2.
Or they're going to do some kind of spin-off.
No, like this is the ending they had planned from the giddy up. Like they had it planned as a continuation. Like that,
Yeah, I mean they had it planned as I get they had it planned as a continuation. I
Yeah.
mean that's generally how a lot of them go, but the way that it's gone.
Oh no. Yeah. See, I would really like to see where Khmer and OSHA go, and Plagueis and all that. But I don't care nothing about Vernestra and all them. Like, I really want this show that's centered on the dark side, and to hell with the Jedi for once. And give us the Sith or the Smilo Ren, Knights of Rens of the universe. For once. Like, I'm not saying you gotta make.
something.
I'm not saying you gotta make them the good guys.
Yeah.
But make them the primary focus of the story. Like the protagonist of the story. They can still be evil and be the focus of the story, you know. Or at least not good.
Like, I get what
in
you
the middle.
mean, but I don't know. We've also had this niche now of like a bunch of these movies and shows of kind of making you feel for the villain.
Well, I don't
and
want to
making
feel for
you
no
follow.
villain.
Well, I
don't
mean,
wanna feel for 'em.
that's exactly what they were doing here, though. Like,
I didn't feel for neither one of them. None of them.
Not Nan.
The most I felt for was Saul, and that was just up until the last couple episodes, and then I didn't anymore. But, I mean,
understand where they're coming from. I mean,
and then
I
to be
guess.
honest, let's see, episode 6 is when we got Kamir and Osha talking.
Yes, sir.
I really liked that conversation they was having and how Kamir was trying to push her buttons and get in her mind and everything. I could have seen more of that.
Yeah.
I don't care nothing about whether they love each other or holding hands with the same saber. I thought it was cool that she bled the saber in front of everybody.
We saw it
Yeah.
in the saber. That was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why Saul did. If she bled the saber too, like it was over with. There was no more Saul.
I don't know. It's just.
Oh, well, I agree completely.
I'm mad. You killed my mom.
I mean, you did.
You're dead now.
Would you be mad if somebody killed your mom?
Yeah, but I'd also want to know why before I just went, you're dead now.
Vader choked somebody for their lack of faith.
But OSHA, what? It's not like OSHA has been fucking evil for years now and choked someone
Oh, it sounds
out.
like she has. She's been full of hate all these years. This sounds like the dark side to me. That's why she didn't become a Jedi. That's why they wouldn't continue her fucking training, because she was full of hate.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's what she said. She even admitted herself that she was so full of hate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, any final thoughts?
Thanks for letting me down. I got my hopes up for some cool ass shit where I thought it was gonna be the middle ground,
Me too.
but instead it just turned into what's going on the whole time and figure it out.
That's right. That's right.
I give it a very low D-, like a F. Like I was not happy with it.
I'm gonna say C-.
Yeah. I can't give it an F. I give it a D. The fights were good enough that it wasn't gonna get an F, but the rest of it.
Like I felt the story a little bit, but it was just like it was so. There was all the self-interpretation and the crappy storytelling.
The rest was simple.
I could have seen where it could have gone if it was great, but
Alright.
it just wasn't.
All right. D-, C-,
Yeah.
and D. If y'all like what we do here, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let us know what you thought about the Acolyte. Since the season's over, you can give us a whole. I've been Chuck.
I've been Brandy.
And I've been Johnny.
Y'all don't have too much fun.